People get promised. I mean, Trump said yesterday that he's going to have a new cabinet position on inflation, except you don't know anything about it. Like, he's throwing everything against the wall he can, and the third that he does know is usually not right.
What about the brain worm? He has a brain worm.
The brain worm would get its own protective detail. It's more than just what he's doing in Pennsylvania. I think the display of confidence that they're showing about, our polls show that he's ahead in all of these places, is a setup.
According to recent polling, 67% of Americans think politicians don't speak honestly about their opponents. Well, Christie just blew that statistic out of the water with what might be the most brutally honest assessment of Trump ever broadcast on live TV. The video of Christie's takedown has already racked up 4.2 million views in just 6 hours. That makes it the fastest-spreading political clip of 2023, beating even that infamous Trump courtroom sketch that looked suspiciously like a potato with hair. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Hold on to your hats, folks. It's roast time.
Tonight, that there isn't a path for me to win the nomination, which is why I'm suspending my campaign tonight for President of the United States.
He got a hot mic I heard about. I thought actually the bigger story wasn't the fact that he dropped out. Nobody cared too much about that.
I'm going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump to ever be President of the United States again.
Christie just went nuclear on Donald Trump with a comedy takedown that had CNN anchors practically falling out of their chairs. The setup couldn't have been more perfect. At a recent rally, Trump made the outlandish claim that nobody respects me more than Christie. Talk about setting yourself up for disaster. When the clip played during Christie's CNN interview, the camera caught his face, completely deadpan and unimpressed. The interviewer asked him about Trump's statement, and what followed was 5 seconds of the most awkward silence in television history. Those seconds felt like an eternity as Christie just stared, his expression a mixture of disbelief and amusement. Then, like a comedy volcano that couldn't be contained any longer, Christie erupted. The former New Jersey governor unleashed a barrage of zingers that left the studio audience in stitches. His initial comparison between Trump's diet and policies was devastating, suggesting both were equally harmful to America's well-being. The audience didn't just laugh, they howled.
Your fellow governor, I think you guys were friends, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Came out with a very thoughtful endorsement of Kamala Harris, saying he was going to vote for her, that he's really kind of tuned out politics.
All the different things that have happened to him in his life since he left the governorship have led him to be even more reflective about things. So, look, I think everybody who wants to express themselves should. But what it will, and Alyssa, you're right, what it will do is it's a celebrity not endorsing Trump, but endorsing her, and that will really anger Trump. Yeah. It's more than just what he's doing in Pennsylvania. I think the display of confidence that they're showing about, our polls show that he's ahead in all of these places, is a setup.
One woman in the front row was laughing so hard she had to wipe tears from her eyes. Even the normally composed CNN host couldn't maintain their professional demeanor. But Christie was just warming up. In a move nobody saw coming, he reached under his chair and pulled out a bag of visual props. The audience gasped as he revealed a spray tan bottle labeled Desperate Orange, a direct jab at Trump's distinctive complexion. The host was literally crying with laughter at this point, struggling to regain composure as Christie held up the bottle like a game show prize. The comedy assault continued as Christie targeted Trump's favorite hobby. His golf jokes were precision strikes at Trump's ego, suggesting the former president's golf game mirrored his presidency, full of cheating and constantly landing in trouble. Christie pantomimed a terrible golf swing, complete with sound effects that had the audience doubling over. Then came the fashion critique. Christie tugged at his own tie while delivering the killer line about Trump's neckwear resembling his promises, unnecessarily long and pointing in the wrong direction. The visual demonstration coupled with Christie's deadpan delivery made this particular joke land with devastating effect.
If he wins, he could say we were geniuses and we knew more than the pollsters knew.
Yeah.
If he loses, he could say, see, it was stolen.
Right.
Because we didn't see this coming.
Don't buy it.
So I think the whole thing is a setup. He wants to project to people that, see, I'm doing so well that I can afford to go to a place like New Mexico for an afternoon because I'm doing well and I'm going to be the winner, so you want to vote for the winner. People like to vote for winners, right? People hate to feel like they're wasting their vote, right? So he wants to project that. That's why I think he went to New Mexico. Not that he has any realistic chance of winning New Mexico,
Social media immediately lit up with memes of Trump's ties, photoshopped to resemble various ridiculous objects. Just when viewers thought Christie might be running out of material, he launched into a series of comparisons between Trump and fast food items. Trump is like a day-old hamburger, flat, greasy, and past his expiration date, Christie quipped, patting his own stomach knowingly. Each comparison grew more absurd than the last. He's like a chicken nugget that fell behind the fryer, forgotten, hardened, and covered in an unnatural orange coating. The audience was practically begging for mercy at this point, gasping for breath between laughs. But amidst all the comedy, Christie slipped in some serious political commentary. He highlighted what he believes is Trump's greatest weakness, his complete inability to laugh at himself. "A man who can't take a joke shouldn't be trusted with nuclear codes," Christie said, his tone briefly shifting to something more somber. The audience fell quiet for a moment, absorbing the weight of the statement, before Christie launched back into comedy mode. As the interview wrapped up, Christie delivered what can only be described as a knockout punch. Trump's planning his next comeback tour. Tickets include a free spray tan.
Tonight, that there isn't a path for me to win the nomination, which is why I'm suspending my campaign tonight for President of the United States. It's more than just what he's doing in Pennsylvania. I think the display of confidence that they're showing about, our polls show that he's ahead in all of these places, is a setup. People like to vote for winners, right? People hate to feel like they're wasting their vote, right? So he wants to project that. That's why I think he went to New Mexico. Not that he has any realistic chance of winning New Mexico.
And lessons on how to lose an election. The studio erupted one final time, giving Christie a standing ovation that lasted nearly 30 seconds. What made Christie's roast so effective wasn't just the clever jokes, but the intimate knowledge behind them. As a former Trump ally, Christie knows exactly which buttons to push, and push them he did, with surgical precision. Political analysts appearing on later segments noted that humor can often achieve what serious political discourse cannot. It can strip away the armor of pomposity and expose vulnerabilities in ways that direct attacks never could. The effect on Trump was almost immediate. While he didn't respond directly to Christie's comedy assault, his social media accounts went unusually quiet for nearly 24 hours, something his staffers privately described as damage control mode. When Trump finally did post, it was notably free of any references to Christie, suggesting the roast may have landed too close to home for a comfortable comeback. Let's face it, what we just witnessed wasn't just comedy, it was political kryptonite. The hashtag #OrangeTurd didn't just trend, it dominated social media for 2 straight days, racking up over 2 million mentions. Trump's skin might be thick with makeup, but it's apparently paper thin when it comes to jokes. Social psychologist Dr. Jennifer Walters explains, public figures who can't laugh at themselves create their own vulnerability. Christie exposed this weakness masterfully. Meanwhile, Twitter had a field day. As user at Resistance Queen wrote, Christie just did more damage in 5 minutes than Democrats did in 5 months. Sometimes all it takes is a well-timed joke to deflate an oversized ego.